Hello, my name's Bart Vale, World Shootfighting Champ, and your instructor in today's workout. Shootfighting is a combination of Thai kickboxing and submission grappling. It was developed in the early 80s by the Japanese, who felt there was a need for stand-up fighting and ground fighting combined. What I'm going to do is show you some techniques that combine stand-up fighting with ground fighting and being able to teach a student that's a stand-up fighter or a ground fighter how to cope with it. How does that sound to you, John? All right, let's get started. All right, we're going to start working on some punching combinations, but before we start that, what I want to do is work on a fighting stance, proper way to do a fighting stance. Now, if you're right-handed, what you want to do is always have your right side back. Of course, if you're left-handed, you go to the other side. Now, watch what I'm doing here in position here. I'm going to get my feet about shoulder width wide. I'm going to bend my knees down slightly. Now, I'm right-handed, so my right side is behind me. My opponent's in front of me this way. Just stand right in front of me here, John. There we go, right there. Now, what I got is I got my power side back here, and what I want to do is I want to use all my body weight to throw this backhand punch. Now, what I'm doing is I'm turning off this foot, keeping the ball of my foot on the ground, because I use the floor to push off to throw this punch. Now, watch what we're going to do slowly here. I'm turning this position here as the punch comes out this way. Now, when you throw the punch in that, you want to keep your chin down, your shoulders slightly up so you protect the head the best you can. You're coming straight in this position here. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get John in a fighting stance position here. Now, want to keep the elbows in, the hands up just below the eyes so you can still see your opponent, what's going on. Your shoulders slightly up and head down. Now, we want to bend both knees slightly. All right, and then when he turns off that back leg and that, he's going to push off the floor here using his back foot to throw the punch. Bring it back in there now. Now, that's on a power punch. Now, before you throw a power punch, technically you should always throw the front hand. The front hand is called a jab. This sets up the power side. So what we want to do is we want the front hand to come out. Again, chin's going to be down, shoulders are going to be up. You throw the front jab. You're not turning your feet at all. All you're doing is using the arm. And then as it comes back, you're turning to throw your power punch. Again, head is down, shoulders are up, and then recoil back in. Now when you recoil, it's the same concept. Your hand's coming out, your leg's taking it out, and as your hand comes back, the leg draws it back in. So we'll go with the jab first. We're just throwing the jab out. Good, head down in this way here. Keep the knees bent a little bit more. And then as it draws back, you throw the right there. Turn it all the way in. Good. Do me a favor now, stand on this side. Change sides for me. Your fighting stance again. Legs bent, shoulders up, head down. All right, just a little bit below the eyes there like that. Good. Now the jab sets up the punch. Good. And then draw back in as you throw the back. Good. One more time again like that. Ready? Go. Good. Again. And then out. All right, change sides back for me here. All right, now, what we got to do is we're throwing the jab, and then we're throwing the back cross. Now, what we want to do is we want to block. There's several different ways of blocking. What I'm going to show you today is blocking with a scoop. As this hand comes out, you can use either hand, front hand or back hand. Whichever one you want to use is okay, whatever comfortable. But what we want to try to do on these is try to stay on the same side. So if he throws his left, I'm going to scoop with the right. If he throws the right, I'm going to scoop with the left. Right now, that's the easiest way to do it. All right, and then as you get more involved in it, you'll find out if he throws the front, you can scoop with the front, so you can follow off with the back in that. But for today, all we're going to work on is he throws the left hand, I'm scooping with the right. Now, when you do the scoop, I'm going to show you straight on here. When you do the scoop, what you want to do is you want your hand to come on top of it and just move it out of the way this way. Don't bring your elbow out and out of the way because you're going to leave your body open. Just keep it down slightly here and then just move it out of the way. So we're just doing this. Now again, back in here, he's throwing the jab nice and slow. And what I'm doing is I'm coming like this, moving it out of the way, and I'm right back in position. throw a little faster, and we're going like this. Again, here. Now, another thing I want to emphasize here is when you guys throw a punch or a block or anything like that, I want you to exhale out of your mouth. So as the punch comes, both of us are going to exhale out just slightly. That's all. Go through it again. Good. Now go with the other hand, and I'm going here. Good. Turn that foot more. Go. Turn it. Good. Again, go. Now I want you to do left and right. So go 1, 2. Good. Again, go. Good. Again, go. All right, let's show another angle here. We're going to get on the other side here. Again, down a little bit there. Getting a little closer here like that. Slightly bend the knees. We're staying a little bit. Now, another thing that's real important here, too, is when we're staying in our fighting stances, we're going to have most of our weight on the ball of the foot. So what you want to do is you want to slightly bring up the heel just a little bit, that you might be able to put a piece of paper underneath your heel. All right? And most of your weight's on the front here, so you can move off of the ball of foot and not on the heel like this. All right? This is really easy for a takedown. Now, we want to stand on the ball of foot so we can maneuver. Now, get back in position for me here. All right? Shoulders up, head down. All right, now you go throw the left, and I'm scooping. Throw the right, and I'm scooping. Good, again, go. Good, again, go. Again, go. One more time. All right, so what we did was accomplish throwing a jab and a cross. The back hand's always going to be called the cross. The front hand's always going to be called the jab. And then the block, which we're calling a scoop. Front side, back side. What we're going to do from this position here is from his punch, whether it's the front side or the back side, we're going to be able to step in and take him down. Now, what we're going to do for today is we're going to use the back side for the scoop. Because the problem is if I go here and I'm scooping this one and I'm coming in to shoot, this one's coming in. All right? Theoretically, most people throw 2 punches. Anybody that has any kind of punching experience will always go 1, 2. So if he goes with the 1 and I'm coming in on 2, I'm going to get hit. So what I want to do is 1, 2, and then I want to come in at this point here. Now, what we're going to do is going to scoop this hand, then I'm scooping this hand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this hand down so I can come in on him here. Now, what I'm doing is I'm coming straight in with the back leg. I'm just stepping in, not shuffling, but an actual step. I'm coming straight in here. Now, what I want to try to do is when I do this, is I want to try to get this hand out of my way because I want to come in this way. See, so we got both my arms are around the body. All right, let's watch from another angle here. Get over in this position here. For me right there, shoulder up, head down. Good. All right, so first punch comes, I scoop. Second punch comes. Now I'm keeping it, I'm scooping it further out of the way, and I'm tracing his arm right back inside. I'm stepping in here, getting around the waist this way, so I got my chest against his chest. So this way I'm controlling him. Now the other thing that I'm doing too is when I come in, get back here. When I'm coming in, I'm keeping my body weight low because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my legs to bring him up. And once I bring him up, I'm turning him to take him down on a suplex. So what's real important here, throw 1 punch, 2, coming straight in this way. I'm coming in, I'm keeping these down low here. My hips are down so that I can bring this up like this. So realistically, it's not a whole lot of strength. All I'm doing is using my legs to bring him up. Now, before we go any further, what I want to do is work on doing a backdrop. What I want you to do, John, is sit down on the floor on your butt. All right, now, for me, turn this way. All right, good. Now, what happens on a backdrop here is your head is going to hit the floor. You don't want it to hit the floor, so we're going to bring it forward. We want our shoulders to hit the floor and our arms. Here. All right, now all we're going to do is keep the head in. You're going to sit back, and as you sit back, hit the floor to break the fall. Bring it back and go. Good, let's try it again. Remember, see how he kept his head off the floor? Try it again, go. Good. Now, what I want you to do is get up in a squat position. Bend it all the way down that way. Now, what we're going to do is the same exact movement, but what he wants to do is just bring one leg up in the air. It doesn't matter if it's your right or left. Bring one leg up and then hit the floor. Ready? Go. Good. Let's try that again. Go. All right. Now, stand up. Move in just a little bit this way, right there. Now he's going to do the backdrop from here. Now, again, I don't want you just to fall from this tall position here. Start to squat down and then do the backdrop. Now, squat down and bend the backdrop. Go. Good. Let's try that again. Go. All right, now, back up in our fighting stance. What we're gonna do is a backdrop from me suplexing him. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a belly-to-belly suplex on him. When I get to this position here, I'm in with my right leg, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring him up my legs, and then I'm turning. Now, when I turn him, he's going down this way. He's gonna use his right hand to do the backdrop. Technically, I'm gonna land part of my weight on him, not all of my weight, because I don't wanna crush him. But in a real situation that you would land all your weight on your opponent. But for now, you're gonna kind of control him going down and let him do the backdrop. Now let's go from the punch. You got 1, 2, I'm coming in this way. Bringing up this way. Turning down this way. All right, let's try that again. Let's get a little closer. Left, right, coming in. Here, up, turn, and down. When I'm down here, the first thing I want to do is try to keep my weight on my opponent. So what I do is I put my heart down on his heart. So I have him control this way. Now, another thing that I want to do, let me get on this side, stay right there, John, is I want to keep my legs apart from each other. So I'm doing this to keep my balance. I don't want to do this, because then I have no balance. I'm going to fall either way. I do this. Now, you could do either way. You could have your front leg up or your back leg up. You could do it this way, or you could do it this way. All right. This particular technique that we're doing right now is called a body reverse armbar. You don't need right or left leg up. Either one doesn't make a difference. We got to have one up though. We got to be up in this position here. Now let me get on the other side to show what we got. Here I am, heart to heart. I got one leg up. The one closest to the head is the one I put up, so I can control him. Now this is the arm I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna bring it down here. If it's up here in this position here, I'm gonna come all the way up, take it down this way, and put it up on my head. Put this up on his head. I'm gonna push the arm down with my head, and his elbow up with my arm. So we're just going this position. All right. Do me a favor, switch to the other side. Go that way. Get in this way. Here. Now, I'm going to put the arm down in this position so we can see. Straight down this way. My body weight's on him. The leg closest to the head is up towards his leg. Now, we got to get an arm underneath somehow. You got to work on getting the arm underneath here. Then you bring the head down this way. Once you got the head down on his arm, you got control of the arm. Keep the other arm under the elbow. You take your leg closest to the head, and you put it on top of his head. You hold the arm down, and then you just push the elbow up this way. All right, so what you got is you got the arm straight here. You're holding this down and this. If you get this movement like this, and here, and you don't put the head up, and you lift this up, he's just gonna sit up. You got nothing. All right, so before you start the movement, get this arm underneath. Control it. Work on getting the head down to his arm, or his hand. And as you do that, bring the leg up this way so you control him here. Then once you're in this position, then you got the technique. No problem to get it, and then on the elbow, I slide my arm over to the elbow so I'm right on top of it. Even grabbing my arm with my other arm, and I push it up. And that applies the technique. All right, let's see it again from another position here. Let's go this way again for me, please. From the suplex. Punch, punch, here. I'm in. Up, turn him, down I go. Control him. Control the arm, get this arm here. Get control of my head. Get my leg up on the head, and then pull the arm up. And that applies the technique. What we're doing here on the technique here is everything going against the elbow. This holds down, this is held down, and then this comes up. Again, we'll watch it from this position here. This is underneath. I have it down here with my head. I'm holding the arm with my head. I come up holding the head down with my leg. And then I pull the arm up with my arms. And you want to be underneath the elbow with your forearm. You're going to use this part of your arm underneath underneath his elbow. All right, let's show that one more time here from the punching position. Now, another thing that I want to let you guys know here is the transition from stand up to ground. A lot of guys are wrestlers, a lot of guys are fighters, boxers. Some people want to stay standing up, some people want to go to the ground right away. Now, what we do on a shoot fighting situation here is we fight both sides, whether it's stand up or ground, it doesn't matter what we feel comfortable doing. What I say to most of my guys is if you're in a fight and the guy's beating you standing up, take him to the ground. You might be better with him on the ground than you are stand up. And this is the whole concept that shoot fighting is. It fights for a stand-up position to ground, but it also does a transition. And what we're working on here is a transition from a stand-up position to a ground position. Such as if I was just a wrestler and he was just a boxer, this is one of the ways that we would make the transitions to take him down to the ground. That was just a point that I want to get across to you guys here. But what we want to do now is we want to show this technique one more time. So we're going with the front punch, then the back. Again, I'm dragging the hand out of the way. I'm stepping in underneath. I'm staying low here. I'm going to bring him up, turn him down to the ground. Now what I'm going to do, let me get in position here. Keeping my weight down on him, my legs up towards his head. I'm going to get control of this arm here. Bring my head down to the end of the arm at the hand area. Put my knee up on his head. And then I'm going to push the arm up. Now what John's going to do is tap. Now, again, this one thing I want to talk about is tapping. When you guys are working out with each other, one person feels pain or something doesn't feel good for him, he wants to tap. Now this is a tap. 3-4 times. That means stop. All right, now one time, that means go. So a lot of times when you guys are working out, especially when we're working out in that, we're doing our techniques in that, one guy gets in a situation where he would tap us. Put this hand up higher here so that they can see what we're doing here. All right, he's gonna tap out. Now I stop and let the technique go. I might move to a different position. When he feels comfortable, one tap, which means go then we go right from that position. So this way, we don't always have to get up right away there to work on our techniques. Because a lot of times when you're down on the ground here, it's kind of hard to get in that position, and you would want to be able to kind of work it different here. When I'm down on the ground, this leg may be up. So I might have to have this hand over on this side here. Then I got to come all the way over on this side to get the same technique again. And a lot of times when you're down on the ground, you want to work in that position so you can kind of get to the right spot so that you can get your technique so you kind of get a feel for the movement. All right, back up now. All right, now the next thing I want to do is I want to work on, for me, throwing a punch. And what's going to happen is John now is going to do the same technique on me that I did, but what I'm going to do is a counter to his technique. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to start off with the punches. 1, then I come with the other one, 2, and he's going to drag you down. He's coming in now. As he's coming in, I'm going to come underneath him and take the head. I'm going to wrap this arm around the head. And again, what I got to do is I got to come up underneath the chest area here and come up this way so that I have around his head. All right, so now let's watch that again. We'll come with the first punch this way. Then I'm coming with the second one this way. He's dragging it out of the way. I'm coming underneath and I'm coming up with it. Now let's get on this side here. We'll show the same thing from a different angle here. Coming with the first punch. Then the second, he drags it out. I'm coming underneath. I'm coming up this way. So then this way, I have my arm around his neck and I have control of his head. All right, let's go on this side here. All right, again, I'm throwing the punches. 1, 2, come underneath and I grab the head. Now, let's put this position right here for me here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the head tight with this arm around the head. You might want to hold with both arms. You don't really have to, but some of the guys like to grab and hold with both arms. I like to hold just with one arm. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my body weight to take him over. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down just like I would on a chair. As I do that, I'm bringing his body weight down with me, and then I'm just going to roll him. This way, then, I take him over with my body weight and not with no strength. It's kind of like when you start a hip toss, it's the same idea. If I was in here and I got a hold of him and I'm going to do a hip toss, I got my hips underneath. The only problem with a hip toss is I got to, again, lift, which takes a certain amount of strength. On this head drag, all I got to do is use my body weight like this, and over he goes. There was no strength. Now, sometimes a smaller guy doing a head drag on a bigger guy is a little bit more difficult. All right, because again, if you only got 100 pounds and you're trying to take down a 200-pound guy, it's a little bit more difficult. The idea, if you're a smaller guy, the idea that you want to do is when you come in from this position here, you bring him up off balance, and then you drop him down and roll him, and in this way, he doesn't have any balance. So you got to use the entry to take him off balance. So I'm in this position here. 1, 2, I come here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him up this way off balance. Then I'm dropping this way, taking him over. Now once we have this position here, I'm going to use this arm. Now let's move this way for me, John. Stay right there now. I'm in this position here. Arms around the head. My legs are up. Now I'm going to get this arm here, and it's going to go over this way here. Now what I'm going to do with this leg is I'm going to push this arm down, and this one pivots his shoulder. You okay down there? Yep. All right, now, so what we're doing is here and here. All right, now this is one part of the technique that we're doing, because also over here then, I got a choice to use this arm. I have this leg here, and I can go to this arm with plenty of techniques, or one that I like to do here is when I'm holding this, is take the head and pull it away from the arm. So what we're going to do is work on taking this here, controlling it here, taking the head and pulling it up this way. All right, let's get back up for me. All right, again, I'm throwing the punches. Left, right comes. I'm coming underneath, bring it up. My hand comes up this way around it. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my body weight down this way, roll him over. So I'm in this position here now. What we're gonna do, pivot just a little bit from here. Good man, right there. Now, I got around the head. I take this leg and I get it up here as high as I can. All right, so this leg is trapping this arm. Using my arm, I bring it down and just bring my leg over. So I'm in this position here. Now, again, his elbow is straight on my leg. I push this leg down to apply the technique. At the same time, take the head, pull it away. All right, now we'll go through the techniques one more time here. John will start throwing a punch. Then the second punch comes. I'm stepping in, getting around the waist, bringing him up, taking him down, controlling him, getting the arm up on the head, and then put the technique on. All right, back up. We'll go to the other side now. Here, here, and then I'm coming in, grabbing the head, taking it down. Hold him up, getting control now. What I'm doing is I'm pivoting him around so we can see. Getting control, bringing the leg up, Arm underneath, head comes up. All right, get back up to our fighting stance. Okay, we covered some punching techniques. Now we're going to work on some kicking techniques. First thing we're going to do is a roundhouse kick. We're going to use this part of our leg, and we're going to try to hit this part of our opponent's leg. All right, now, what we're going to do now is we're not going to throw the actual kick, but all we're doing is working on a technique. So what I want to do is I want to put this part of my leg up on his leg. Once I get to this position, all I want to do is just push the leg. Now he's going to do the same thing. Bring it up here. Keep the knee down a little bit here, pointing the foot, and then just push. And it comes this way. Again, we're bringing it up this way, pointing the foot, then knees coming down, and then just push it. And again, back up here. Point the foot this way and push. Now let's show a different angle on it. Get over on this side for me. Put the leg up on it. Now what we want to try to do is we want to try to have the knee on this side of your opponent's body. All right, your hips align inside with your opponent. You want to point the foot. We want to use this part of the leg here, and we want to right in here. From this point here, just push it on through. This way. Again, let me show it on this side here. We'll bring it up this way here, and then just push it. Again for me, please, here. Good. And then go. Right. Good. Again here, and there. Good. Now what we do is we're going to show the same kick but going on the inside. Again, we're going to use this part of our leg. And our target's going to be in this area here. Now all I'm going to do is just bring the leg up and then just push it. Again, he's going to do the same thing. Bring the leg up and push. All right, now, what we want to do when we're using the front side is close the distance a little bit. So what I'm going to do is for my fighting stance, hands up, shoulders up, head down. I'm going to take a step with the back foot, putting the leg in, and then push. And then again, the same thing. He's going to step, put the leg in, and then push. Good. One more time. We're stepping, put the leg in, push. Again, step, put the leg in, and push. Let's show the other angle here, please. This side here. Go this way just a little bit for me. Good. Step, put the leg in, push. Again, step. Good. Put the leg in, push. Now, another thing I want to talk about, the stepping in that. When you step to throw your kick, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get more of your body weight into the kick. What you don't want to do is step directly into your opponent. You want to step a little bit at an angle because this is our target. It's the same concept when you push somebody. Put your hands down for me. If I was going to push John, my weight would be coming straight in and I'll push him this way. That's how I'll push him. Now back in your fighting stance. I got the same idea with my kick. I'm going to push his leg this way with all my body weight going this way. So what I want is my body weight coming this way and then my leg coming in to throw the kick. So I'm driving everything this way. Now back to our fighting stance. What I don't want to do is step completely to the side because my hands are out of range. So what I want to do is I want to step at a 45. My hands are in range. Then I can use the leg. So when you practice this technique, what you want to do is you want to step, check your front hand to make sure you can reach your opponent. Bring your front hand back, put your leg in, and then push. Again, John will do that. He's going to step. He's going to check his front hand. Then he's going to bring the front hand back, put the leg in, and push. Good. Let's show another angle on that, please. All right. So I'm stepping, checking my angle here, put my hand back, put the leg up, push. Again, John will do it. Step, check the hand, bring it back, put the leg in, and push. Good. Now we're going to do the same kick a little higher now. Our main target here on this kick now when it's higher is into the ribs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have John turn just a little bit. We're not going to actually kick real hard. All we're going to do is kind of put the leg in there and have this as a general target here. Now all I'm going to do, just turn this a little bit for me here. What I'm going to do is just bring the leg up here and I'm going into the body that way. I want you to do the same thing up here and then push it in this way here. Again, we're bringing it up, push it in. Again, step and push it in. Now again, we're doing the same thing with the step off the back side now that we did with the front side. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get our body weight behind the kick at the same time as we're doing the kick. So what we're doing is we're stepping. You don't have to step far, just slight angle, 6-8 inches. Then bring the leg up, throw the kick in. Step, and then put the kick in. All right, now we're going to go back and show how you do the kick, putting the movements together. What I'm going to do is going to have John get a tie pad so he can put it up on his leg. Get the tie pad for me, please. All right, now, we're going to just put on the leg here. My main objective is so that I can have the rotation of the hip. Now, I'm going to start off real nice and slow. We're just doing this. That's all we want to do. Remember, you want to exhale as you throw it. So just exhale and throw it. What you want to try to do is have the rotation on the hip at the same time. It's the same movement we were doing. I'll do it slow for you. I'm bringing the leg up, pushing it. Now what I want to do is put it all together. Just up and then throw the kick. We'll show John doing the same thing on the other side here. So I got it here. Take it slow one time here. Put it in. Good. Make sure you exhale on it. Go. Good. Again. Go. One more time. Go. Good. All right. Put the pad back for me. Now what we do is we're going to go from this position here, showing a technique from a kick. What's going to happen here now, John is going to throw a high roundhouse kick into the body. Now, another thing you can think about is the roundhouse kick to the body works really great when a guy comes in with a punch. Because when he throws a punch, as John throws his punch here, this side's open. So as that punch comes, I can throw the kick. I'll have my target there every time. All right, so what's going to happen here is, let's say, for instance, I'm throwing the punch. John's throwing the kick. I'm catching the leg. All right, now what I want to do is I want to come off the back arm to catch the leg. Because this arm, my front hand, is tied up with the punch. That kick comes, I'm taking this hand, I'm coming under this way. Now what I'm doing is I'm setting myself up for the same movement we did before, which was a suplex, is where you're going to use the hips. What I'm doing here, give me the leg just for instance. What I'm doing is I'm coming underway this way here. Now I'm doing the same movement we were doing here where we take the hips, we're bringing the hips forward this way, and then what I'm doing is turn the same way like I did on the suplex. Remember, I had John here. I use the hips up this way, and then I turn. I'm doing the same motion here. Give me this, let's move this way just a little bit here, right there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leg, I'm going to start my suplex this way, and as I come down on the suplex, I'm going to turn and take John down. All right, let's show that again here. From our fighting stance, punch comes, you throw the kick, I'm taking it here this way. I'm starting my suplex, taking it over this way. All right, let's try again. From the punch. One, kick comes, I'm coming in this way here. I start my suplex. As I'm going down, I'm turning, taking him down. Now, I'm in position here to do a lot of techniques, and the most common is using this leg here. Because I have this technique here, all I have to do is come up this way, in this position here. I get back up for me here. In fact, let's show a different angle for me. All right, I come from the punch. You throw a kick, I'm taking it this way here. I'm stepping in this way. I'm going to start my bridge. As I get about this point here, I'm going to turn, taking him down. Now what I'm going to do is have the leg in this position here, where I put my elbow in, grab it underneath the foot, push it up. Okay, back into our fighting stance. All right, we'll show it again from a fighting stance position. He throws the kick, taking it, catching the leg here. Now what I'm gonna do again, I'm doing my bridge, coming down. I'm gonna turn him, taking him over. Now what I wanna do is explain a couple of things here. What I wanna use is my elbow, and I wanna be somewhere in this area right here. Let me just pull this up for a second here. Right in here between the muscle and bone. I wanna put my elbow in. So this way he feels that right at the beginning. Then what I'm gonna do is that same arm, I'm gonna take underneath the foot. Put it under the foot. So what I can do with this elbow is I can push this down and pull this up at the same time. This movement here will put the technique on. You can also use this other hand to help pull the foot in closer as you push this elbow down harder. So you're doing this. Now the other thing is, if for some reason you don't have enough strength in putting this elbow in here like this, you can use your knee, put your knee up in it, where you're pushing your knee down, and then just pull the foot up. It's the same movement. What I want you to try to do is try to get this one here. It's in this position, and just push it up here. And that's it. Back up to our fighting stance. All right, now from our fighting stance, we're gonna throw. I'm gonna throw a roundhouse kick at John. But what again happens here is John's setting me up with the punch, and I'm using that as my entry. Now he's catching my leg the same way that I caught it, as if he was gonna take me down with the bridge and so forth. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take him down with a technique. Now what I want to do is I want to take my supporting leg, and I want to slide it in between his legs. Now, as I get it in between his legs, I'm going to take that leg and wrap it around his leg to take him down to the ground. Now, hold on to the leg here. I'm going to use his head to control myself going down. I'm sliding inside this way and wrapping my leg around his leg to bring him down. Now, what I want to do is I want to hold his leg tight with my legs. I'm going to take my arm. I'm going to come around the heel. Now what we're going to do is called a heel hook, and it's very dangerous. So what you got to do is you got to just control the leg, tight with your legs, bring your arm underneath his heel, use your body, your upper ribs and that to hold his foot down. And what you do then is just bring your forearm up. Now what happens here is you can actually damage his knee. So what you want to do is just get in this position here to where he could feel it, and then just slightly bring your body weight back to put the technique on. All right, let's show it again from a standing position. We're in our fighting stance. John throws a punch. I throw the kick. He takes it. I'm going to hook the head. I'm going to slide in between, wrapping my leg around, taking him down to the ground. Now I control him using my legs tight. I got his foot underneath my arm. I take my arm underneath the heel, and then I push down with my upper body and up with my forearm so I can put the technique on. All right, let's show a different angle on this. All right, just a little bit that way. Good. Okay, from the punch, kick comes. Taking this way, I'm coming in, wrapping around this way, so I have it hooked. Then I'm coming underneath here, so I hold it this way. I'm underneath the heel. His foot is underneath my arm. This way, my legs are tight together to hold his leg from moving. I don't want any movement past his knee. All the movement is going to be up in this area here, so I'm going to hold this tight. So all I'm going to do is move this area, keeping this tight on arm, and then all I'm going to do is push this up. And that puts the technique on. Get back up for me. From our fighting position. Now again, you can see where we're starting off with the punch, and I throw the kick. Now what I'm doing is I'm trapping here so I can control myself as I go down. As I'm going down, I'm trying to take the supporting leg, and I'm trying to bring it in between his legs, wrapping it around his leg to hold it down. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to show that part again. I'm going to try to get John to force himself to stay up. So you can see, we'll go right from the catch. Now move out this way a little bit for me. Now we're going to try to do it so John's going to try and stay up. So push your weight back a little bit here so that I can actually go down. Because I want to get my hip inside here. So my hip, I try to get as far into him as I possibly can. So when I bring this around, it's just a simple roll with the hip to bring him down. Again, keeping this tight together. My arm is underneath the foot. My forearm goes underneath his heel. And then I have the technique. The key thing is trying to get your leg, get back up for me please, John. The key thing is to try to get your hip in as close as you can when you fall down. So when you drop down, as you drop, take the supporting leg and slide it in between his legs. Here again from the catch. Now I'm taking the supporting leg, and as I do it, it's going to go in between his legs, rolling around this way, taking him down, holding it tight, and then I put the heel hook on. All right, back up to our fighting stance. All right, now from our fighting stance. What we're going to do is take a move that's commonly used in wrestling, which is a single leg shoot or a single leg takedown in that. Now what we got to look at, whether you're a wrestler or a boxer, is the distance to coming in. As a wrestler, most wrestlers would probably just go in for a shoot. What they're going to do is step towards you, either with the front leg or they might even step in with the back leg as they shoot. But either way, they're going to use a leg to shoot in and take you down. A stand-up fighter, like a boxer, would actually have to use the front leg, to step as he throws his jab. When you start off in a fighting position, nobody starts the fight off this close. All right, by this time, everybody's hit each other. What happens is usually start up in this range here, where both of you are ready to do the fight. He can't hit me, and I can't hit him, unless one of us takes a step. Once we take the step, I can hit him, and he can also hit me. Now, again, back to our point here. We're going to use a single leg takedown. Whether this guy's coming in like a wrestler with just a regular grab, or if he's coming in like a boxer or a kickboxer setting up to do his jab. Now, what's common for me in a shoot fighting is we always start off in a fighting position and not really in a wrestling position, because we always have to remember that not only is the guy going to be able to grab us, he's going to be able to punch us, he's going to be able to kick us, he's going to be able to knee us, and he's going to be able to elbow us. So we have to use all the weapons in here, so we have to think of all these weapons at one time. So as our opponents stand up in a fighting stance, what we're going to do is play off of him stepping in to throw the punch. As he steps in to throw this punch, this is the leg I want to use to take him down. Now back in your position, John. As he steps in, I'm shooting down. Now I'm coming down on this leg. This knee I'm down on. I try to get the front leg as close as I can to his leg, because I'm going to use this extension from my foot to my knee to take him down to the ground. So I'm in this position here. I take the closest hand and I put it down by his foot. I want to be down at the foot and not up to the knee. I'm coming down to the foot. Now my shoulder is coming down on his thigh here. Now, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my body weight from the knee to the foot to take him down. So I'm coming in this position here. I got the foot. I'm not lifting the foot. All I'm doing is controlling it. I'm putting my shoulder on his thigh here. Now I'm taking the furthest leg and I'm just driving it forward, taking him down to the ground. And that's what we're going to do on a single leg takedown. Now let's watch that again. He steps in for the jab. I'm coming down this way here. This leg's down already. This foot is as close as I can get it to his foot. I'm going to use this knee to bring him down. Taking the hand inside, down by the heel. Shoulders coming down on the thigh. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to put this foot down on the ground like this. Now as I do it, I'm holding his leg and taking him down this way. Now, that's what we're going to do on a single leg takedown. But what's going to happen here, as I do my single leg takedown, John is going to adjust his weight, which most people will do. As soon as they start to lose their balance, you do a couple of things. The most common thing to do is move the other foot to try to get your balance, or try to grab something that's in the air to keep you from losing your balance. What John's going to do here from this position here, get a little bit closer from me here. As I come in to take him down, what John's going to do is adjust the back leg to keep the balance there. So it makes it difficult for me to take him down. All right, now let's try that again here. So I get this position. As I drop it in, John just moves his legs to take his balance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to readjust to take him down. Now as you can see, my head's on the outside of his body. I want my head to keep on the outside of his body. So I'm going to bring this leg in, bringing this leg back, keeping the outside. I'm bringing my right hand now in between the legs, trapping this leg, and I'm going to use this shoulder to drive him forward this way. And then, of course, he'll just pancake going down. Now, let's watch it a little bit quicker here. From the single leg, he's stepping in. I'm coming here. He adjusts. I'm coming back. I'm taking him this way. All right, again for me. In fact, let's do another angle here. All right, from our fighting position, he steps. I shoot. He adjusts. I come in this way, take him down this way. Now from this position here, I could use either leg. I'm choosing to use this one here. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to slide in with it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other leg, I'm going to wrap it inside his leg. Now what I'm doing is I'm locking my leg inside his leg, locking his foot up on my hip area here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my body forward and my leg back, which will put the technique on. Or again, from this position here. Stay right there for me, John. I took him down this way. I could use the right foot or the left. I'm choosing to use the left here. What I'm doing is bring it up. I'm going to take my furthest leg inside, locking this up on my hip area here, and then just push it forward. Now, as I push forward with the hip, I'm going to try and push this leg back a little bit. So all my movements here are working with push-pull. One's going one way, one's going the other way to apply the technique. All right, back up for me, please. Again, from your fighting position. Leg steps. I come for the single leg. He adjusts. I come inside this, take him down, slide it up this way, put it inside, and then just push forward. All right, let's go from another angle, please. Over this side for me. Shoot in, adjust, come around. Take him down, bring it up, bring this around, and forward with it. All right, back up in our fighting stance. Here. All right, from our fighting stance again, he's going to throw the jab. I'm shooting it on my single leg takedown, catching the leg, pushing forward. He's going to adjust. I'm going to switch the head, coming on the inside. I'm going to grab inside the legs. I'm going to take him down. And before I go any further here, what I want to do is explain the proper way of falling down when you're going to be taken down face forward. It's called a pancake. John, why don't you get down on your knees for me here. Now, what you want to do is you want to protect the face as you go down. You're going to use your forearms to hit the floor, kind of like we did the backdrop with the reverse. You're going to the other side. So what you want to do is you want to fall forward, keeping your face away from the mat, using your hands to keep you off the mat. Try it again like that. Good. And that's basically all we're doing on the pancake like that. Now, back up position for me again here. Let's just pick up right where we were at here. I'm on this side coming here. He's going to pancake forward. All right, I'm bringing the leg up. I'm going to take my furthest leg going inside. And then all I'm going to do is just push forward, putting the technique on. All right, from our fighting stance position here. Now I'm going to step in, throw my jab, John's going to shoot in on a single leg takedown here. Now, what happens here is John's not all the way down to my heel. All right, remember earlier I said I don't want you coming up to the knee. This is real dangerous because the guy has too much control with your arm with his leg. But even down here, if he's just below my calf, I still have control of his arm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my body weight on him. I'm going to lift his arm up with my leg this way. So now I have control of his arm. So let's watch that again. Get back up for me. I'm stepping in to throw the jab. He shoots in. Now, again, you can see he's not down by my heel where I originally told you. He's down right above right below the calf. What I'm going to do is I'm going to support my weight on him, bringing his arm up with my leg. Now, what I want to do is I'm basically going to do a pancake down on top of him. So what I want to do is I want to drop my weight straight down on him, keeping his arm between my legs. So now I got his arm in the reverse arm bar. So I'm putting a technique on here. Then what I'm doing is I'm going to lock his shoulder up, bring my arm across his face, and do a rear cross face at the same time. All right, back up in our fighting stance position. All right, I'm stepping in to throw the jab. He shoots in. I put my weight on, bring it up, come straight down on him. Now I got his arm in a reverse arm bar. I lock his other arm up with my arm. I come across the face and do my rear cross face. All right, let's show it from another angle here. Yeah, that side. Okay, good. Coming here. Now what I'm going to put my weight on, bring it up this way. I'm bringing my weight down straight on him here. I'm holding his arm up with my leg. I lock his arm up with my other arm. Come across the face. Now when I do the rear cross face, sit up here for a second for me. When I do the rear cross face, I want this part of my arm across this part of his face. So I'm right underneath the cheek. So I'm going to be basically right in this area right here. And then I lock the two hands together here. So back on the ground for me here. I got the arm up here. Locked here. I'm coming across the face this way. Locking my arms up. I'm going to push this arm down. This one's coming up towards me. And that is a rear cross face with an arm lock. So we're going to go again. I'm stepping in to throw the punch. He shoots in. I grab it. Take him straight down to the ground. Lock the arm up. Come across the face. Put the technique on. All right, back in our fighting stance for me right here. All right, now we're going to review the techniques that we've done. We're going to use the students, so let's bring them in now. We're going to start off in our fighting stance. Now again, remember, if you're right-handed, your right side's back, so you want your power side behind you. Now what you want is you want your shoulders slightly up, your head tucked down, so you protect your head. You want your punches just a little bit below your eye range, your eyesight. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start off here with Robert throwing the punches. Now, as Robert throws his front hand, which is called the jab, John's going to scoop block it. Now, go throw the punch. Now, what you want to do when you scoop block, remember, let's see how John's keeping the elbow down and tight? You want to be able to do that. Then Robert's going to come in with the second punch. He's going to scoop it. Now, he's going to drag this hand out a little bit further and then slide that hand in underneath the ribs, stepping in with the right leg, getting his legs underneath him. Now, there's a couple of ways you can lock up behind the opponent when you suplex somebody or grab them. You can grab your wrist or you can grab your hands. One thing you don't ever want to get in the habit of doing is folding your fingers. When the guy's behind you folding them, it's not too dangerous except for when you land on them. But if you start getting in the habit of doing this, you're going to end up breaking your fingers. So let's concentrate on either grabbing like this or grabbing like this. Either one, it makes no difference at this point. So John's going to grab up, lock it up. Now he's using this grab here. He's going to use his legs to bring him up. He's going to bring him up, turn him off to the side, taking him down with the suplex. Now, he's going to get on him, his heart on top of his heart. He's going to have the leg up, bent up closest to the head. Just keep it down like that so you got your balance. Bring this leg back a little bit there. There you go. All right, what you want to do is maintain good balance when you have the guy down on the ground. You want to be able to control your opponent. All right, now from this position here, John wants to trap this arm, get this arm, dragging it down. Now what he does is he's going to bring his head all the way down to the arm so he holds the arm down. He has his arm underneath the elbow, controlling his arm. Now what he's going to do is he's going to bring his knee up on the face. Now, it doesn't matter if your opponent's head is turned this way or this way. What does matter is that your leg is down on it, controlling him from going anywhere. So you hold this down. All right, he's holding this down. Now what he's going to do is he's going to bring the arm up by pulling his arm up. Pull it up. And then Robert taps on that. Let's try it again from the same position. Back in our fighting stance. Shoulders up, head down, make a good fist. Both of you good. All right, Robert throws the punches. Scoop. Second punch. Scoop. Drag it out of the way. Step in on it. Lock the arms up. Take him down. Get cross body. Get control. Make sure your weight is down on him. So just bend this in like, there you go. Good. So now your weight's on him. All right, good. Now get down to the hand. All the way down there. Good. Arms underneath. Move this out of the way. Arm is underneath his elbow. So he's using the blade of his arm underneath the elbow. Control the head. With your leg, good. Grabs his arm, pulls it up. Very good. All right, from our fighting stance here, we're going to throw the jab, then the cross, slide the hand out of the way a little bit. Now what he's going to do is step in, get around the waist. Lift him up, suplex him down. All right, now hold on one second here. Let's just turn this angle a little bit for me here. All right, now what he's going to do is control his weight down on him and that. He's going to slide the head all the way down to his hand, keeping his arm underneath the elbow. Now what he's going to do is bring the leg up on the head. All right? So he's holding the arm down with his head, holding the head down with his leg, and then he's going to put the technique on using the elbow by pulling it up. Very good. Back up to our fighting stance. Okay, again, from our fighting stance here. We're going to have Robert come back throwing a punch. So Robert throw the front hand, scoop, then throw the back hand, scoops, drags it out of the way. Now he's going to come around the waist and he's going to step in. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about here is on the suplex, the most important part about the suplex is using your legs. So what you want to do is you want to get down a little bit lower there, John, and you want to be able to lift him up with the legs. Now, when you lift him up, you want to bridge. And by doing your bridges, you're going to bend your head back, looking for the floor this way. As soon as you feel like you're losing your balance, like you're going to fall over, that's the point where you're going to turn and put him on his back. Now, let's move back just a little bit here, right to there. Now, get around the waist like that. Get the legs, turn this way for me, like this way. There you go. All right, now, what we want to do is pick him up, and then bridge over, bridge, turn them, and go down. Good. All right, now, again, get in position, body down on him. Good. I want this down for a second here. I want this just come up on top of me and hold it down like that. Good. So your head's up, your leg is going to be as close to his head as you can get to have balance. You want to have good balance on the ground when you're down here when you're trying to control your opponent. Now while he has this side controlled in that, now he's going to work on trying to get his arm under the arm, sliding his head up to the hand. Then all he has to do is just slide this leg up onto the head and then bring the arm up and he'll have the technique. All right, let's get back up in our fighting stance here because what I want to do is I want to show an exercise that you could do to help you get the bridge a little bit better. So what I want to do is I want to start off with the student. Here, come here. Stay right there, John. Robert, come over here for me. All right, put your arm out there. Lock up the arm. Now what we're going to do is, basically, Robert's going to hold John up while John tries to do this bridge. Now what you want to do is you want the head going back so you're looking back this way as he starts to bend the back. Now bring it down, John. There you go. Bring it down with him, Robert. Bending it all the way down, coming down. Try to get your head to touch the floor. All right, let him go. Get down. Let's try that one more time with you, Robert. With John. Hold on tight to the arm like that. Bend it back down. Look for the floor. Bend it down. Bend it down. Bend it down. Keep going down. Keep going down. Very good. All right, now, again, what he wants to do is he wants to look for the floor over his head. So he's looking back this way. He's holding on to the arm here to keep his balance so he doesn't fall just straight down on the floor, breaking his neck. And then he's going to go straight down, bending it down, bending that back. Look at the nice arch he has. That's why it's called a bridge. All right, back up. Let's try one more time, Robert. Hold that arm tight. Bend the back. Look for the floor. All the way back, all the way back. Good bridge, all the way down like that. Good. All right, let's get back up. Back in our fighting stance. We're going to have Robert do the technique here. So, John, you'll start to throw the punches. Scoop, scoop, slide that arm in, step in, get around the waist, bridge up and turn them. Bend that back and turn. Very good. All right, get up on top. Now, let's just get a little angle here. So turn this way for me here. All right, as you can see, he has his legs apart from each other for his balance. He has his body weight on his chest. What he's going to do is work on getting his arm underneath the arm, bringing his head down to the end of the hand, as close as he can get his head down to his opponent's hand. Then he takes this leg and puts it on top of the head. All right, now holds the head down, holds the arm down, and then just brings it up. Very good. Back up to our fighting stance. All right, let's do it one more time here. John, you throw the punches. Grab, step in, bridge, and take them over. And over. Good. Now let's slide this angle here. One other thing I want to point out that Robert does, get the head locked up again for me here and that. All right. What Robert does is he uses his hand to move the head. That's optional. You don't have to if you don't want to. Robert feels comfortable by moving the head before he puts the knee up. That's fine. A lot of guys just bring the knee right up on top of the head. If the arm was over here and John's head was here, all he has to do is this. It's still going to work the same way. There's no problem. Robert likes to move the head as he does it, which is fine. There's no problem with that. Your main objective is to make sure that you have this leg down on the head. Your head is down by as close as you can to his hand, and then you just use your arms to pull up on that elbow. All right, back up to our fighting stance. Fighting stance. All right, from our fighting stance position here, now John's going to throw the jab, and then the cross. Now Robert's going to come in like he's going to shoot in to do the suplex, but John's coming underneath. Now let's back up a little bit because I want to get this angle before you step in. What I want you to do, John, is as he steps in, start to step in. As you start to step in, Robert, this is when you're going to have to take it, John. When you come underneath and then bring your shoulder up and lock around the head. Now let's start back over from the beginning, from our fighting stance. So you throw the left, scoops. Throw the right, scoop. Now he's going to start to come in. As he starts to step in now, right, good. Now lock around the head. Now what I want you to do is turn your body out this way here, so you're sitting right, you're right next to him in that. Hold this tight. Now what you're going to do is you're going to sit down and roll him over you. Now go ahead. All right, now let's move this angle here for me, right to here. All right, now what we're going to do here is we're going to set the arm up tight by bringing your leg in tight here. All right, once you have this position here, and then you got this arm controlled. All right, now with this arm, you're going to grab his arm and put it underneath your leg. Now, a couple of things can happen here. One, most obvious, is this guy's going to try to bend the arm. All right, now if he tries to bend the arm, all John has to do is move the leg so he straightens the arm back up and goes against the elbow. Now, the other thing that John's going to be doing is, besides trying to get the arm, he's going to be working the neck. Now, what he's going to do is take the neck here, and he's going to pull it down out this way here as he puts the arm on. Good. Now, there's other couple techniques that you could do from here, a choke and whatever you have in here. your main objective is to try to get your leg over his arm to control his arm. Once you get your leg over his arm, no matter which way he moves, loosen up a little bit. No matter which way he moves it, all what John has to do is roll his leg around there and lock it up until he moves it, because his leg's going to be stronger than his arm. Now, another thing I want to explain is when you're doing a shoot fight match or in a match, the whole game is like a game of chess. You got to think about the movement before you do it. What happens here is we're starting up in our stand-up position in that. John's throwing his punches, and Robert here is moving the hands out of the way. As he moves the hands out of the way, Robert's expecting to go in there to grab him. Well, John's expecting him to not come in there while he comes in and takes him over with a head drag. And that's how the game goes back and forth here, as one's moving for the next one. So again here, as Robert moves his arm, John just moves the leg, puts it back in position so he can do his technique, controls the arm, comes up, using the head as he pulls the head away. Now let's start back up, standing position. We'll go from the other angle. Back in our fighting stance. Now we'll start with Robert throwing the punches. Scoop, and then the other one, scoop. Now as he starts to set in, Robert's going to come in low and then come up with his shoulder, knocking him out off balance. Lock around the head. Now as you can see, what happens here is Robert's legs are between John's legs. So you got one leg on this side, emphasize a little bit more here, just come out wider. And one on the other side, kind of like a T. And Robert tries to set up so he's straight in between the legs so that all his body weight is pulling straight down on John's neck. Now from this position here, Robert's going to just sit straight down and roll him over. Come up, locking the leg up underneath the arm. Controlling the head with this arm. Now what he's going to do is take this arm, controlling it, bringing it under this leg. Now he pushes this leg down, this one up, and pulls the head up at the same time. Back in our fighting stance position here, Robert will start with the punches. Scoop the other one, good. Coming in, come underneath, good. Lock up around the head. All right, now sit straight down, roll him over. Good, lock the leg underneath the arm. Then put it underneath the other leg, good. There, tight, and then bring that up, pull it up. Very good, back in our fighting stance. Okay, now we're going to start from our fighting stance position. Hands up. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to work on a roundhouse kick to the leg. Now remember, what we're going to do is use this part of our leg. This is a target we're trying to hit right now. So what John's going to start off the kick is this part. Now all I want him to do is bring the leg up onto his leg. All right, leg in, point the foot here, and then from this position here, just push. Good, remember to exhale on the push. Try the same thing on the other side. Bring the leg up, push and exhale. Good. Again, push, good. Bring it up and push, good. Now back in position here. Now we're going to go with the front leg. Get a little bit closer to each other here. Now all you're going to do is just bring the leg up, put it inside, and then just push and make sure you exhale. Go with the front leg, go ahead, push, good. Other side, in, push, good. Again, John, remember point the foot, bring it up, good, push, good. And Robert, good. Okay, back in our fighting stance position from here now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work at doing a step. What I want John to do, again, is going to step at a 45-degree angle. What he wants is all his body weight coming across this leg. So when he throws the leg, his body weight's driving also into the leg. So from our fighting stance position, now with his front leg, he's going to step 45. Now make sure that when you step, you range your hands. Make sure that you're not stepping out of your opponent's range. So step 45. Put the front hand in. If you can touch the head, you're in range. Bring the hand back, bring the leg up, and then push. Exhale. Good. Back to position. Robert, you're going to do the same thing. Step 45, check your hand. Good. Leg up, push, and exhale. Good. Again, with John, go ahead. And then, very good. Other side. Good. Okay, back to position in fighting stance. Now we're going to do the same thing. Going with the front leg. what I'm going to do is have, get in just a little bit closer here. All right, from our fighting stance position here, we're going to have John step off at a 45-degree angle. Check the left hand, make sure he's in range, bring it back, put the left leg inside, and then push. Good, back to position. Robert, same thing. Step, check, bring it back, push. Good. John again. Bring it back. Good. And Robert. And good. Okay, back to our fighting stance position here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work the same kick now. We're going to roundhouse kick up into the body area. So we're coming up into the midsection. Our main target we're going to try to hit is the ribs. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to use a jab to set up the opening for the kick. So what I want here is I want Robert to step with the front leg, throw in the jab. Just leave it there for 1 second here now. Now, John can see the opening here, and he's going to try to roundhouse kick in this area. What I want you just to do is just bring the leg up, push into it. We don't have to kick right yet. And then just push it. Good. Back to position. All right, now we're going to switch it on to the other side now. Step, throw in the jab, John. Okay, now Robert, throw the roundhouse kick into the body. Bring it up. Good. All right, make sure you exhale on in that. All right, now from this position here, we're going to do a takedown. What we want to do is have Robert step in, throw in the jab. He's going to throw the kick. Now what John's going to do is jam the leg. He's going to step in with his front leg, jamming his leg, grabbing the leg, stepping in with the other leg underneath, bringing his arm underneath his opponent's leg so he could do the leg drag. Now again, the leg drag is the same movement that we were doing with the bridge, where you hold on to the leg, you bend over with the bridge. As soon as you see the floor, you're going to turn, taking your opponent over. So in our fighting stance position, we're going to have John throw the jab, which will open up a target for Robert to throw the roundhouse kick. Now, as Robert throws the roundhouse kick, John's going to jam the kick, taking his left arm, wrapping it over the leg, the right arm under the leg. So he has an under and over grab. Then what he's going to do is bridge. He'll start the bridge, keep going down more, John, go down more. And at this point here, when he starts to lose his balance, you want to turn and take him over. Turn and take him over. Turn, keep turning into him. Now what we want to do is put the foot down, flat. Now again, like we talked earlier, we want the elbow in between the calf muscle and the bone. So you want to put the elbow down in there. Now what you'll do is you push the elbow down, pull the foot up with your arms. Go ahead. Good. Back up in fighting position for me. Let's do the same thing on the same side again. With John throwing a punch, Robert throw the kick. Jam it. Good. Bridge, take him over. Circle into him. Good. Elbow down in there. On the foot, push it down now. Very good. Back up in fighting position. Let's try the same thing on the other side now. We're going to have Robert throw the punch. John throws a kick. Jam the kick then. Now what I want you to do, let's go back for a second here. Back up, put it back down again. As soon as he throws the kick, as the kick's coming, throw the kick at me, John. I want you to step into it so you're jamming the leg so that you get the leg, the momentum, the power of the leg stop before he gets full extension and does any damage. So as soon as that kick comes, do it one more time. As soon as it comes, you're stepping in on it. This hand's under, this hand's over, this hand's under, and then you go. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, from the punch, go. And step in with it, good. All right, let's try it again now, and then we'll go with the bridge, go. Good, bridge it over, down, 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 now turn. Keep turning into it. Okay, what I want is this angle here, go over just a little bit for me here. All right, now what we're doing is, again, elbow down in the, between the bone and the muscle, underneath the foot. Grab it, push down with the elbow, up with the hands. Good, let's go back into fighting position. Same thing again. Throw the punch, go. Kick, good. Bridge, good, turn. Okay, position a little bit for me. Over this way, good. Down that way a little bit. There you go, now, go. Very good. Back up in our fighting stance position. Okay, from our fighting stance position here, we're going to have Robert step and throw the punch. John throw the kick as Robert traps stepping and jamming the kick. Now what's going to happen here is John is going to get his hand around the neck, controlling him. What he's going to do is he's going to slide in between his legs, making sure he tries to get his hip as deep as he can between Robert's legs, and snake his leg around Robert's leg, taking him to the ground. All right, shoot down. Now wrap it around, bringing him down to the ground, pulling him down. Good. Now what we want to do is we just want to move this angle a little bit here. So go this way for me here a little bit. Okay. Now what we want is we want John to pinch the leg tight together. All right. We want to make sure that Robert's foot is underneath John's arm. Then he's going to come down, holding the foot down with his arm, his upper arm, and then with his forearm come underneath the heel, hook in the heel, and then just push it back. Putting the heel hook on. All right, back up in fighting position for me. All right, we'll do the same thing on the same side with Robert starting to punch. All right, punch. Kick, good. All right, grab the head, slide in, take him down. Straight down there. Just keep it right there. Pinch the legs tight together for me. Push them. What you want to do is you want to take your knees, push them together. All right, so it's not real important to cross your legs as much as it is just taking your knees and pushing them down together to hold his leg. You don't want the leg, the upper part of the leg, to move at all, so you're using your legs to hold it in position. Making sure your arm's underneath the foot. You put the forearm, your forearm underneath his heel. You can grab it with the other arm and then just pull it back. Nice and easy. All right, back up in fighting position. We'll show it on the other side with John throwing the punch. All right, throw the punch. Kick, jam it. Good. Slide around, wrap it down, take it down. Pinch the legs together. All right, you want to pinch tight. Let's just move this angle just a little bit here so at least we can show nice and tight on the legs here. Again, underneath the arm here. Holding the foot down with your upper arm. Then taking the forearm underneath the heel itself. Again, keeping this tight. And then put the technique on, pushing it in. Very good. Back up in fighting position. We'll try the same thing. Same side again. John throwing the punch. Go. Good. Snake in. Wrap around. Angle a little bit for me here. Good. Tight. Don't wrap the legs here yet. Just pinch them tight together here. Get that underneath. Good. And then put it on. Very good. Back up in fighting position for me. Okay, fighting stance. All right, now from our fighting stance, what we're going to do is a move here that will start off with a punch or even a wrestler coming in on a shoot or a grab or whatever it is. As soon as our opponent steps in to close the distance, whether it be for a punch or a grab or whatever it is, we're going to come in with a single leg shoot. Now, what we want to do is we want to come down on the forward knee, on the back knee to reach the ground there. Now, what you want is you want the hand to go in between the legs. Now, what you want to try to do is you want to try to get your hand as close as you can to the heel. Now, you don't want to lift the opponent off the ground. What you want to do is just support the leg here. You're going to put your shoulder up on the thigh. Now, with the other leg, the extension you have from the foot to the knee, that's what you want to bring forward, dropping your man to the ground. Just bring it forward like that, dropping him to the ground. Very good. Let's get up and try it on the other side. Now, we're going to do it from the other side while John comes in with a punch. Come straight down there, shoot on the knee there. Good. Now, what we want to do is we want to have the inside arm inside. Now, what he's going to use is he's going to use this extension from here to here by bringing this down. Again, you can see that the shoulder's on the leg. He's going to use this part with his body weight, bringing this down, bringing John forward down to the ground. Very good. Back up to our fighting stance. Now, again, we're going to start off with the same movement where he shoots, steps in to throw the punch. Step in, throw the punch, Robert. John's going to shoot in to take him down. Now, as soon as Robert feels the pressure of him going down, he's going to take the back leg and spin it around so he can support himself. So start to push down a little bit, John. Spin around. Now, what John has to do is keep his head on the outside. So he's going to bring the head on the outside of the leg. Bring it around. Bring the head around. Bring the head around this side. Good. So he wants to stay on the outside of the leg, whether his head's forward or backwards. wants to stay on the outside. Now, he's keeping his left hand on the foot. He's going to take his right arm and go in between the legs, grab the other leg, and now drive him straight forward. You can use this knee to bring him forward. And now Robert's coming down as a pancake. Let's see that again before we show the technique now. Back up in a fighting position. Step to throw in a punch and shoot for a single leg. Support the leg by moving it. Good. Now spin the head around, drive him down. Push straight down. Now what he's going to do is, let's move the angle here so you come this way a little bit for me, John. All right, what he's going to do is bend the leg up. He's going to take the other leg, his right leg, and bring it inside Robert's leg. All the way in tight. Bring it right there. Good. Now what he wants to do is take the foot and he wants to support it right up on this hip area here. Now what he's going to do, he's going to push his body weight forward against Robert's leg as he takes his right leg and pushes it back. Push forward. Very good. Let's go back up. Same thing, same side. All right, one more time from here. All right, good. Change, good. Spin around. Take him down, pick the leg right up with it. Bend the leg inside. Lock it up. Push forward and back. Very good. Back up in fighting position. Let's try the same thing on the other side now. I'm moving just right there. Okay. All right, go with the punch. Post, good. Spin around. Keep the head on the outside. Drive him straight forward. All right, now again, he's going to just pick the leg up. Keep it on this side. I want it on the same side. So what you're going to back up for a second here. What you want to do is, as you can see, Robert changed hands and that, which you could do, but not necessary. What we're going to do is keep it on the same hand. You got the same hand. Just bring it up, bend this leg inside. Now, so just keep it on this side. It's locked in here on the hip area. The leg's inside here. Now what he's going to do is just push forward with the hip and back with the leg. Very good. Let's try the same thing again. Now again, like Robert did, he switched hands, and you don't really have to do that. You got it with the left. Just pick it up with the left and drop the right leg inside. You already got the technique. Some of you guys are going to find out that you can do these techniques in different positions. All right, what I'm doing is I'm showing you a specific movement, a specific beginning and end. A lot of times you're going to find yourself in different positions where, hey, this is the same movement, whether it's on my right side or my left side, and that's going to happen. All the way through the techniques, you're going to find that you can do it on this side and that side. And all I'm doing today is I'm showing you one specific side so it's easier for you to learn. And then as you understand it, then you can change sides and put the other arm in there and switch legs. And then you're going to find out you can put the same arm with the same leg and vice versa and back and forth. All right, let's try the same movement again with the punch. Go. Post the leg back. Good. Spin around. Take him down. Just bring it up with the left. Bring the right in there. Good. Locked up tight. Nice and tight there. Good. Now forward and push out. Very good. Back up in fighting position for me. All right, from a fighting stance position here, we're going to have John throw the jab. Robert shoots in to take him down. Now, what's going to happen here is Robert's going to get the arm above the heel, just below the calf, which is a little bit higher than what we originally wanted. So now what John's going to do is just hook the arm up using his leg, putting his body weight on Robert's shoulder. Now, once he gets the arm up, controlled in that, all that John's going to have to do is pancake right down on top of Robert, driving him straight down to the ground. Now, pancake on top of him, driving him straight down. Now, as you can see, John still has the arm tied up between the legs. So now he has a reverse arm bar with the legs. What he's going to do is take a right arm, lock up Robert's shoulders. So this way, he has his arm down on Robert's shoulder here, holding his body down. And now with the blade part of his arm, he's going to go across the face, lock up the arms, and he's going to pull the head up, doing a rear cross face. All right, let's try it back up from fighting position. All right, from our fighting stance position here, we're going to have John throw the punch. Now, Robert's shooting in for a single leg takedown. Now, what we have here is Robert's going to be just below the calf area. Now, I know at the beginning I told you guys I want you all the way down to the foot. All right, in this particular point now, Robert ended up catching up by the end of the calf here, which is still low enough that he might be able to pull off that single leg, but also gives John, our standing opponent, a movement here by just spinning the leg around, hooking him up. Good. Now what he's doing is controlling the arm, keeping his body weight up on top of him using the hands. Now what John has to do is just take the supporting leg straight out, pancaking Robert straight down. All right, now from here, he's going to keep the arm tied up in the leg, keep this nice and tight. All he has to do is bring the leg up a little bit, and he has the reverse arm bar. Also just controlling the arm in this position here. Now what he's going to do is take his right arm, put it on the shoulder, so he's putting it right down in this area here to hold Robert down. Now with this part of his arm, he's going to come across Robert's face, locking his head, locking the two arms together, and start pulling up for a rear crossface. Very good. Back up in fighting position. All right, now we'll try the same thing on the other side with Robert throwing the punch. Go ahead. John shoots in. All right, now just bring your leg up, hooking it up. Good. Now hold it controlled and lay it like that. Keep your body weight even on him here. Now what you want to do is take the supporting leg, push it straight out as you pancake down on top of your opponent. Go ahead. Good. Now keep the arm control. Bring this hip up a little bit. Bring that, right. Good. All right. Now take the right arm, lock it up straight on top here. All right. So this is holding down this part of his opponent. Now he's going to use this part of his arm, make a fist. This part of his arm across the face here. So he's going right across John's face this way. Lock it up there and then push it up. Very good. Let's get back up. Let's try that one more time. From our fighting position. Okay, with the punch, go. Hook it up. Good. Now pancake straight down on top of him. Lock the shoulder up. Come across with the rear cross face. Lock the hands up and pull it up. Very good. Back to our fighting stance position. All right, from the fighting stance. And that concludes today's workout. What we do is take a series of techniques and combine them together for you so it makes it easier for you to learn. You're going to be able to find out that these techniques apply at different applications. What we're trying to do is develop a total fighter. So you'll be able to take your opponent out of his element. In order to do this, you need a good understanding of stand-up fighting and ground fighting. So what you want to do is practice this tape, be able to incorporate it into your fighting style, and we'll see you at the next training session.